Course 2, Lesson 11, found on page 75. We're going to do a couple of problems that you'll find pretty simple about combining and then separating. So when you combine something, really you're saying that you're adding something. Okay, so let's put the word add. And if you're separating, then literally you are subtracting, and I'll put sub for subtracting. So that's the concept today. And if you look at the bottom three sections, or bottom third, I should say, of page 75, we have this equation that looks like this: sum plus more equals total. All right. So if I have some cookies, let's say I have 5 cookies, and I want 5 more, that equals 10. Essentially, this is the equation that we've just written. Sum plus more equals total. All right, that is not very difficult. Turn the page. Let's see how this looks in an example problem. Example problem number 1, page 76 says, in the morning, the trip odometer for Mr. Chin's car read 47 miles. Okay, 47 miles. Let's make sure we have a note of that. Okay. And then it says at the end of the trip, it was 114 miles. So he went 114 miles. Actually, he didn't go 114 miles. How many miles did Mr. Chin drive that day? Okay. So if we have our equation of sum plus more equals total, here we have the total as 114. We don't have the more, so we can't put anything here, and we do have the sum, which was the first part of it. So sum plus m equals 114. Well, how do you get m by itself? Well, in algebra, what we do is we subtract that number from both sides. When we subtract it from both sides, we have m equals 114 minus 47. So whatever that number is, all right, which is going to be 67, we do know that, okay? If we put 67 back up here, 47 plus 67, does that equal 114? It sure does. So this is how many miles he drove that day. Because he started with 47 miles and he ended with 114, we want to know what the middle number is here. Okay, that's the whole point. Look at example 2. Example 2 says the first scout troop encamped in the ravine. The second scout troop, or second troop of 137 scouts joined them, making the total 312. How many scouts were in the first troop? Well, we don't know what the sum was. We do know what the more is, okay? And they said that the more, when they added the second troop, they said was 100, or excuse me, well, yeah, 137. 137, and that equaled the total, right? Which was equal to 312. So we have S plus 137 equals 312. And again, subtracting this, S equals, and then we're going to do this subtraction problem, okay? And again, 175 is going to be the answer for the first part for S. Okay, so you're just doing some simple equation writing based on what the problem gives you. All right, what about the opposite? Okay, so when we separate, we have the beginning amount, and I'm going to put that as a capital B, and then we're going to subtract sum went away, so A stands for away, and then equals R. Well, what does R stand for? Well, whatever remained. So if we could do it this way: before, after, and remain. Okay, so pretty simple, same kind of concept. This time we're going to be doing a problem that's got these. So let's leave this equation up here and look at example 3. Tim baked 4 dozen muffins. He made a platter with some of the muffins and gave them away to the school bake sale. He had 32 muffins left, which he packed in freezer bags and stored in the freezer. How many muffins did Tim give to the bake sale? Okay, so he started with 4 dozen muffins. Well, a dozen is 12 and 4. Obviously, we have 48. So we're going to start with our number of 48 before. Okay? Then it says he had 32 left. So what we're remaining 32. So we have 48 minus a. We don't know what the after is. Okay? So again, how do we get a by itself? How do we figure out what it is? Well, the difference is going to be 48 plus something or minus something equals 32. So if we subtract these two numbers, we're going to get what was after. So how many did he give to the bake sale? 16, because 48 minus 16 does equal 32. So our answer is 16. All right, I think you get the idea of how to do these problems. This is problem set 11, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.